Ash, can I sit here?
Yeah, come.
I'm so stressed.
Why, what happened?
Sir gave us an assignment about whistleblower, but I don't know anything. Ash, you have take CSP, right?
Yeah, I take it before.
Do you still remember anything? What is whistleblower?
Whistleblower is someone who exposes illegal and unethical issue of the organization to public.
The person must be the workers or someone else?
Who have worked before.
Oh, sir mentioned about a case about whistleblower. I forgot about the name. The something Snow.
Snowden.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give other example because sir don't want that Snowden case?
Oh, got one case where the company have to pay a biggest compensation to this whistleblower. It's about a GSK company. And this whistleblower is a manager. She exposed the illegal things of the company.
You have time right now? I want to take note about that case.
Sure.
GSK is a pharmaceutical company who produces antibiotic ointment for babies and drugs to treat nausea, depression, and diabetes. GSK produces their products in a factory in Sidra. In August 2002, Cheryl Eckard, who is the whistleblower in this case, she is the Global Quality Assurance Manager in the company. She has been sent by the company to the factory to investigate about the manufacturing violation that have been identified by FDA. She found out that some drugs were being produced in a non-sterile environment. This is because the water system in the factory was contaminated with microorganisms. Not only that, she also found out that some medicines were being mixed up with different dosage. She realized the seriousness of the situation and she reports to the GSK management. However, the GSK management ignored her and fired her on May 2003 after she repeatedly made complaints to management. This causes her to make the decision to expose the unethical and illegal behavior of GSK to the FDA. She filed a lawsuit and bring this to the court. The case has been dragged for 8 years and finally comes to an end. The court held that GSK was found guilty and GSK has to pay a total fine of $750 million to US government to settle civil and criminal charges because the manufacturer and sold adulterated, which means poor quality drug products. Cheryl Eckard has been awarded a portion of the fines, which amounted to $96 million, which people claims to be the highest payment ever to a US whistleblower.
Oh, that's the case about. But I'm curious why she did that to her company.
Oh, about this case, I have watched a video where they discuss about the case. They show why she did that and what the positive impact. You have the video. You would like to watch it?
A subsidiary of GlaxoSmithKline pleaded guilty to distributing adulterated drugs. There was reason to believe some of the medications were contaminated with bacteria. Others were mislabeled.
All the systems were broken. The facility was broken. The equipment was broken. The processes were broken. It was the worst thing I had run across in my career.
Eckard says water used to make tablets was tainted with bacteria.
They were opening up the lid and then they were sticking their body into the tank and scraping it with like a paddle.
But this product is supposed to be free of bacteria. Why would they do that?
It saved money.
When you saw these mix-ups happening, what did you do?
I contacted the Vice President of Quality for North America and I told him that he needed to shut down the factory and call the FDA.
Shut the whole thing down.
Right? And it didn't happen.
After 8 months of reporting problems at Sidra, Eckard sent this summary to 7 executives detailing 9 high-risk areas at the plant, including the mix-ups, the water contamination, and the problems with sterility. She warned that if the FDA knew what the company knew, the government could seize the factory. Weeks later, she was out of a job. Under the whistleblower law, Eckard was rewarded with a percentage of the millions that the government recovered in the fraud suit. Her portion comes to $96 million.
First up, through Cheryl's whistleblowing action, it has helped increase awareness among the public. Consumers of GSK's products did not have any means on finding out the true quality and property of the medications that they had consumed. Through Cheryl's actions of informing the public about how GSK has been producing drugs in a non-sterile environment, consumers are now more aware and tend to take extra precautions on future consumptions. Through this exposed information, Cheryl has ensured that there would be a stop in production and consumption of drugs that can endanger and deteriorate the public's health. Next up, with GSK's exposed offense, it has brought about certain improvements to the overall healthcare system. In the healthcare industry, goods and services delivered are mostly credence goods. Credence goods are products where benefits can only be observed by customers after the products have been used rather than before. This makes it difficult to detect fraud in this industry. The only way to combat this type of fraud is through the whistleblowers, who are able to uncover the fraud through first-hand observation and knowledge. Therefore, in this case, the courage of Cheryl in exposing GSK's wrongdoing has encouraged more people to voice out wrongdoings in the healthcare industry. This can help improve the quality of the overall system. Besides that, as a consequence of this GSK case, the former US President Barack Obama administration had begun to investigate deeper on the pharmaceutical industry by imposing heavy fines on those caught committing misconduct. Since GSK cannot afford to make any more mistakes, it must reinforce compliance procedures across the company. The CEO at that time, Andrew Whitty, has announced plans to revamp operations through expansion and other methods. Lastly, this GSK case had served as a warning to other pharmaceutical companies. Other companies will have to implement additional control to ensure the quality of its product and manufacturing process. Pharmaceutical manufacturers are required to have high levels of sanitation and hygiene at every point of the process, covering personnel, premises, equipment, materials, containers, and cleaning and disinfection products. As a result of this case, drug makers will definitely have to make patient safety their first priority.
Oh, interesting. I think I can use GSK case for my assignment. Oh no, I'm late for my class. Thanks, Ash.
Don't forget my lunch.
I know when I have children, they will know what it means, and I'll pass on the things my family's given to me. Just love and understanding, positivity. We could change this whole world with a piano, add a bass, some guitar, grab a beat.